It only takes a few minutes of looking into 8-bit attack to realise that this is a little bit more than just another game on the shelf. This is a little bit homage, a little bit pet project, a little bit self-flattery perhaps as well, because when you've been responsible for bringing so many creatures, entities, worlds into being, you're obviously entitled to a certain amount of pride. To then be able to kind of homage all of those inside something which in itself is a homage to a genre, I think crosses a line, not a bad line, but it definitely crosses a line of being more than just another game on the shelf. And when you've got to make that game in hand with your son, it takes on a whole other meaning again. And when you look at 8-bit attack wrapped up, it's a retro game. It's a retro game about retro games. And for most, that's probably a good enough reason to pluck it off the shelf and walk away to the counter and pay for it. When you discover that little bit about its background, I don't know, there's a certain little extra value there in knowing that there is a bit more to this than just, what would be a good idea to make money out of people? I know, retro gaming's popular, let's throw a lot of retro game ideas into a board game, card game, and run with it. So, with that in mind, 8-bit attack, this is just the base game, core game, box game, whatever you want to call it. There are 4 expansions. I don't have them. Sorry. Like, come on. Like, you know, this is done on love and support and prayers. It's not done on a bankroll. But it is suffice to say that this will give you a fairly decent impression of what's there, if indeed you haven't already watched the umpteen videos which seem to be out there in the world about it already. Now, our Kickstarter, it should be hitting retail between now and then, March, April, COVID, who knows. If you backed it in Kickstarter, all your shiny boxes should be landing with you, and you should be amazingly happy. And we'd love to hear from you and see what your thoughts on it are. It is, in its heart, a boss battle game. Obviously, they've drawn all the different game worlds that he's had a hand in. They've taken all those different creatures and characters. They've added a whole host more. There's a whole pile of hero characters, a whole pile of monster characters. And the idea is that you are the 8-bit heroes fighting off all these various creatures which have broken into the 8-bit game world from whence they should not have come. And you are fighting off boss battles. So you're fighting like all the little minions, just like you would in a good old-fashioned retro game. And as you go through the levels, the big boss is working closer and closer and closer. And hopefully the idea is that you have earned enough power-ups and extra abilities and cool stuff in all your earlier fights, just like in a computer game, to be good enough to take out the bad guy. Co-op, multiplayer, team player. Obviously, you've got games like Gauntlet and that, where there are 4 players at the console. Most computer games, I guess, were sort of 2-player. In this, you can do 1 to 5. And from everything I've kind of looked at about it so far, you're going to need to kind of play nice with each other. If you've got that person in your group who's a bit drunk and doesn't want to play nice with everybody and is in it for themselves, they're going to burn, and as a result, they're probably going to burn you as well. So, let's have a little bit of a gander inside, shall we? Do you want me to read the blurb in the back? You probably read it on the screen already. All this plastic. Not an awful lot of plastic, to be fair. We'll throw it over there and hope that it doesn't go on fire. It shouldn't. It's not near the flamey thing. So, lovely artwork, obviously. We've got an 8-bit Cthulhu's kind of creature sitting there looking at you going, come on, I'm going to have at you. He's the big baddie. We've got nice graphics, and it has that whole sort of retro feel about it. It's a nice, again, normal sort of size box. Lovely artwork on bonnet. Everything's got the same kind of graphic appeal. And I suppose you could be forgiven if you didn't know any better, looking at this on the shelf and thinking it is some sort of computer game. So we're nicely laid in here. We've got a nice sorting tray. I know they are kind of more expected these days, but sometimes you still get surprised and open the box and then we're just lying there. But yeah, everything seems to be in its homes and looking kind of proper. A minute I opened this, I kind of got that sense that I got when I opened the Resident Evil board game. Everything was designed to look sort of as if it was on the screen. That's sort of what you're getting here, obviously, as well. We have our rules manual, and it is duly notable it's in a sensible size. I like sensible size rulebooks. Final Lord. We've got loads of cards. So we've got our Final Lord there. Ooh, and it's Cthulhu himself. And so there's a stat card and all his abilities and his hit points. That's awesome. This is probably one. You know why people nowadays kind of do the whole coffee table thing, and they just seem to collect games. Being a board game collector is a thing now. This almost seems to strike me that it fits that niche quite nicely. So we've loads of character cards here. I'm just kind of going to rattle through. I'm not going to sit and labour on any of them particularly. Some of them, I think it's safe to say, are kind of homage ones. Some have been added to give you just bigger variety and to kind of cut the line of having multiple choice. Got kind of a standard side and a level up side. But I do that the artwork on this is just class. This is one to just saying it look through. I'm not saying it only look through. I'm not, don't want to play it, but you know what I mean. It's worth the gander. Excellent. How do we treat them in the glass? Am I missing something there? Don't think so. Might be worth checking just in case there's one has been missed with that little duplication. Maybe these things happen. So there is lots of components to try and sort of get a little bit of a look at here. And those are just dinky. I mean, it delivers exactly what it's supposed to thematically. Even the dice here, the graphics on the dice are perfect. And that's a spot where people could have easily just slipped up and just stuck ordinary skulls and stuff. But the fact that it's got that pixelated art going on in those two is just splendid. We have a fistful of spare baggies for our extra tokens. Nice touch. Then we have some of the little upgrade cards, and these will sort of go onto your main character sheet as you unlock them. They're very carefully fitted in there. And these are all double-sided as well. That's just nice. It just, yeah, nice. Nice somehow doesn't seem like an enthusiastic enough word to be offering this, but there's a comfort to looking at this. There's that little kind of reminisce. It's familiar even though it's all new, because this was my era of computer graphics. These little bands are really nice in terms of saving extra bags and stuff, but they're quite fiddly to get off initially. So the combat icons, these are just little reference cards. And even the text on the back, it's like my old printer. My old dot matrix. What way was that on? Was that on sideways? Keep asking this if there's somebody to help me. These days when you have to do all this stuff on your own. There is loads of bits in here. Now we've got this lovely little deck of cards. think these are a mixture of effects and stuff like that there. Stun, cripple, affliction, silenced, empower, ward, taunt, fear, cripple. So we repeat through for each of them. These are condition cards, I think, for the player characters. No little band for those, they were just wrapped up. So we've got champions. Oh, we've got lots of cards in here. We've got champions. We have alien. Oh, these represent the different worlds then. Myth, cultist, demons. Right, well, let's just start where we start. Let's start with demons, get them over and done with. The scary stuff. Quite often when we do these, we don't like to rip open all the bags of cards and things, but this just begs to be looked at. So I'm not going to just sit here and read them all out to you, because that always strikes me as, I do it for some cards. There's some things where I kind of can't help myself, I want to read it out, but I think to just sit here and read card names at you, far better. You can see them, I think, fairly well in this light, because I kind of wanted that little kind of slightly darker, because I used to always sit with my Commodore 64, no light on the room, blast away at commando and stuff like that there. This does, I mean, even as I'm looking at this, I'm sort of realising I'm wanting to go and stick on like a retro game. I want to stick on some retro music in the background or something like that there. The nostalgia button is well and truly being hammered. The big red nostalgia button, the joystick of looking back, is being wiggled. Those are class. So, whole host of demon options, many of which familiar kind of faces. Let's have a look in Myth then. Should really keep a blade close by because I am terrible at getting these things opened. Kept a nail nearby for some reason. It's not like I do a lot of DIY. Gonna have to tidy up later. There's a lot of plastic lying around here. So you've got our elf, merman. Look at that. That's class. Sea serpent. See, now I'm doing the name thing. Because these for some reason have tickled my fancy more than the demons did. Absolutely excellent. Dragon Emperor, fighting dragons. Remember doing all that sort of, and the big creatures that would come and get you in R-type and stuff like that there. Oh, end of level bosses. Gnome, let me gnome. Like, what was it? Oh, the barbarian one. Golden Axe. Kobolds. Lovely. Right. Quite a wad of them there. In you go. Cultists. Hard to say no to cultists. You can't have demons and not have cultists somewhere. I think they almost should go hand in hand. So what have we got here? Innsmouth cultist. I know, just silly and easily pleased. Frenzied cultist. See if we can get you a bit more light going here, because there we go. A bit of plastic stuck to me. Go away. Slumbering cultist. Mutants. Passion. Yes, indeed. Techno. Choo choo. Oh no. Oh. Thought it said techno for a minute there. one. Look at that. Shoggoth. Star Spawn. Gulls. Fungi from Yoggoth. Dark. Oh! Knife Gun. Flying Polyp. Hunting Horror. Colour Out of Space, of course. These are lovely. Love it. Love it. Aliens. Should have put that the other way. Alien games, I don't know, well, other than shooting at them, generally speaking. Little technical glitch there, all sorted now. So yeah, these are just lovely. Do you recognise that one? That's a subtle little nod. Like it. Very good. Class. Love them. Right, champions. Nearly get into it. I made a party sound. So these are our champions. There's our king in yellow and our little Cthulhu nod. I'll be good with the Cthulhu ones. Every now and then will be a bit dicey on. Dicey in a board game. Haster. Oh man, this is just want some of these in posters to like frame or giant postcards or something. Absolutely lovely, but good on the walls. Very good. Timer order. Hate shit. Very good indeed. Lovely. And then lurking right down at the bottom, I think we should just be on a mountain of tokens. And a bit loud, sorry. All our heart tokens, and our little medals for rewards, and our timers, and our potions, and our armour, action points, special effects. Look at that. Class. Very good. So, that's the core game. 4 expansions. 4 expansions add more of the same. Lots and lots more of the same. So you get a fair idea of the mileage that's in that alone, which I would like to think would see you for quite some time in campaign play or just random games or whatever, before you would sort of be thinking, oh, really could do with a bit more here. There we go, that's them into their homes. Take a little quicksy look at the rule book. This game literally goes for a song. I mean, it was $29.99 retail, 27 retail, something like that there. It got like 43,000 in Kickstarter. I think you were getting probably 25 on the Kickstarter. I'm not sure on the price of expansions, but you know, at that, even if they were the same price again, really, but they're probably a little bit less, probably around about a half or a third less again. So rulebook wise, and there you go. This I like. They just keep that theme going there. Little screens. It looks like a little monitor screen and all that sort of stuff. So there's your run through of all your components, how to set up your game. There's the boss track there for Cthulhu, the different elements and abilities, a little explanation on them all, how to play. We're at page 11, how to play. Page 13, telling you about the final boss, that's how to play, dealt with. And then a breakdown of the steps. Over 2 pages there, 3, 4 pages. What enemies do, how they attack, check for battles, and your loot. Potions, buffs, when the abilities tick. It's all, most of this is explaining how the stuff interacts rather than how to actually do it. The big list of all symbols and effects. So there you go. Tucked in at the back, keeping it all right. Silenced. The victim cannot use ability tactics this turn. I love the wee logo for that. And a quick reference table on the back of it. Can't be bad for that. I mean, yeah. So you'll set up your characters. You'll have their abilities, and it reads and it looks just like it should have been put in. You'll have your hero team. Probably do it your own. Does it say one to? Yeah, so you can play it solo. There you go. Probably play with a couple of characters. You'll set up your character cards. You'll have your little starting abilities. You'll have your bad boss. You'll have his track. You'll have the enemies that you're going up against in this particular match or this story round, and you will do your attacks to them. Any that survive, they'll choose who they attack. I think you roll dice for them and apply their abilities to what attacks they'll do to sort out your damage. If you've killed them, you get your loot. Do your bits and pieces down here, manage your character, level up when you've filled up your bars and whatnot, flip over, upgrade a character, gather all your pieces. Each round, the body's getting closer to the end, boom, boss level body fight, win or lose. And you know, if it's true to the era that it's based on, you'll lose more often than you win. The big fights. And there's no saves. Shouldn't be. Maybe there is. I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest. It's obvious looking at that this is a labour of love. There's an affection has been applied to the care, putting together this, the art. Everything just is that little bit more than just stick a game in a box and get it out there. That the essence that it's been a father and son sort of partnership, the background of the work and the IP that's come to sort of fuel this. It's just it's a nice piece of kit. And even at that, even if you step away from all of that and any of the nostalgia, it just looks the part. It looks nice. So if you're the collector niche, and we've realised that nowadays we're also talking to collectors, not just board gamers. But if you're a collector, there's nothing insulting or derogatory to your bookcase collection, your coffee table selection for your chums to come round and have a look. Oh, what's that you've got on the table today, Farquhar? It fits that niche very, very nicely as well. It is certainly one that I will look forward to getting to play at. Might even break my own rules and have a solo game or two at that. And it certainly is one I think that there's games where I've looked at and I've gone, oh, you know, I want this, end of story, and I want the expansion for it, end of story, boom. This I look at, I kind of, and that feeling is kind of enough to have it and be able to get a dabble at it and play it. Looks again like it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't have that immediate sense of wanting to race out and get everything that's there for it, but maybe that's the thing that when you play it and you've kind of gone through everything, you will sort of feel, yes, now, okay, completed that part of it, let's add to it. But certainly as a standalone, that's a decent pack of stuff in the base game that I think will keep most people quite happy and entertained for some time. Each game's like 60 to 90 minutes. I keep having to look back because I don't remember these things. Yes, 60 to 90 minutes. Ages 10 and up. So again, it does fall into the family category. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. And if again, as we said in the blurb, if you've already got this, this is one that you kickstarted, let us know what you thought of it, how you've enjoyed it, whether you haven't enjoyed it, what you like most, what you didn't like. Not scared of a bit of negativity, for goodness sake. By the same token, if this is off the radar for you, you go, what's this all about? hopefully that has answered a few of the questions. There are plenty of how to play videos out there already. There's a lot of quite in-depth reviews and sort of interviews from the time this was in the Kickstarter, so there's no point going over all that ground again. You can hunt them down quite easily. You can go to the Kickstarter page, in fact, which is still there, and find most of that sort of stuff. But if you wanted a wee sort of gander for passing a few minutes on a wet, miserable afternoon, hopefully we have sufficed in that point. As always, if you can, give us a little subscribe. It's a lovely thing to do, and we really appreciate it. Meantime, catch you in the next one.